Okay, so welcome to the Mastery Series calls. Basically, I was looking for a way. I get all this really cool stuff that I download, and I haven't had a way to share it with people. And the people who really do a lot of this work hear this stuff, and they're like, "Wow, this is amazing! How come you don't share this?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm not sure how to get it out there." So this is my first attempt at how do I get this cool stuff out there. I've been working with Access Consciousness for a couple years now. I'm a certified facilitator, and I ask a lot of questions, and I love taking things apart. And the nature of that is such where I like to get into what makes things get locked down, and I like to take them apart. I like to untangle them. And so I learn a lot about the structure of what binds people down, connects people to things that are limitations for them. And I have gifts of perception that just seem to naturally do that. So I just get all this information as I go along. And I notice that it helps me to move forward in facilitating other people. And I want to share that with you because I notice it generated an immense amount of freedom for me. Just knowing all these like inside things about what's actually going on. So for me, Tangled Agreements started in this way. I noticed there were areas of my life where I felt hopeless or a victim. And I knew that wasn't true, or that wasn't like my highest truth. I was like, something isn't right there if I'm feeling hopeless and a victim. So what I started to do is poke in there. And Access says that that would be an indication of that you have agreements that are there. And I've gone in over and over again and rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create. And it didn't seem to do anything, or it did a little bit, and then it's like we were right back to where we started from again. And that is what, to me, generated that hopeless. It's like, this is hopeless. It's never going to change. Or if it changed, it keeps coming back. And all of those kept pointing back to agreements, but I couldn't seem to change any of that. I keep clearing, and it'd keep coming back. Anyone else have experiences like that?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, no, I never had that. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to share. I'm getting tangled here. Is that I recognize that I can't be the only one who's experiencing this. This has to be a common thing. So I started asking a lot of questions. And fascinating things started to come out. And there were some things that I came out with, and there were some things that the universe started to just give me references for things, because there's a part of me that likes to understand, and it helps me to move things forward faster, while also being intuitive. So I'm exploring with this thing of not throwing out the brain, but retraining the brain to be supportive of me. And either that's a transitionary step, or that is where that's going to land. I don't know. It's just where I'm at in the moment. And so I'm just playing with it. That's how it is for me. But the universe started sending me this background information in terms of resources that just really rocked my world. Opened up a whole new way of looking at things that freed up space. So at this point, I want to give you an IPOV warning. Interesting point of view. Everything from here on is not an Access Consciousness point of view. I want to be very clear about this. While I'm using Access Consciousness tools, I am firmly neandering out of Access Consciousness designated territory. So some of this has come from me. As I've asked a lot of questions, I just keep getting these awarenesses, and it starts to build a picture, a story of things. And in Access, they talk about not attaching, like not using stories at all. I have a little different viewpoint about it. I say there are stories that limit, and there are stories that expand. And so if there are stories that I can play in that expand me, I will play in those stories until they don't expand me anymore, and then I let the story go. So to me, it's about being conscious about engaging or how I engage story. And so I'm going to engage story with you here today. And I want to be flat out that this is just a viewpoint. It's just story. I have other viewpoints that answer these same things from a different way, but they don't seem to have the same potency. So this is just the playground I'm playing in. It's just a story, kids. It's just a story. So I look at these things as just a plaything. And once it doesn't expand me anymore, I ditch it. I move on. So I bumped into this guy named Andrew Bartzitz, and he titles himself as the Galactic Historian. And he has a connection to the Akashic Records and channels, and I'll send you a link to some of his YouTube videos if you're interested in going down that rabbit hole. It's a fascinating rabbit hole that he's got there. And he said this thing of that this planet has gone under... there are these beings who enjoy exploring with the energy of domination and control. And you can kind of see it playing out in the government, and you can see it playing out in the structures of society. And you can reflect inside about how we're internally exploring with domination and control. Like, do I let go? Do I surrender? Do I control this? How do I engage this? What do I do? Blah, blah, blah. It's just these different paradigms that we're playing with. And he's saying that there are these beings who have hijacked the reincarnation system. And what used to be a free will reincarnation system has gotten these overlays where when you choose to come here, it actually inserts agreements into your incarnation. So you may think you're coming here for one thing, but you come here and it's more limited, and it might even be different than what you were expecting. And so everything that point of view has brought up for people, all the fear that has generated for people. Can we destroy and uncreate all the Mobius strips, quantum particulates, and SHIQ implants, and trifold sequencing systems that are under that, and everything under that, and everything under and around all of that? Can we now destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and uncreate, times a godzillion, make null and void, good, bad, right, wrong, pop, pock, shorts, but nice, beyonds, just send all that stuff away. I like using my arms, my body, going along, just kind of send it out, let's go. Okay. And it's like, how much of that information have we gotten in such a way that it locks us down or puts us in fear rather than empowers us to go, oh, that's all that is? Oh, I thought it was something more complicated and bigger and more whatever. You know, it's like we're conditioned to use this as a fear scenario rather than as an empowerment. So everywhere that you have allowed things about other beings seeking to control or dominate you, to send you into fear rather than to have you just kind of chuckle about it, like, really? It's a free will universe. How cool is that? Like, they're playing in the illusion of control. So everywhere that you have bought into their illusion of domination and control, can we destroy and create all that?
Yes.
Amen.
Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, times a godzillion, good, bad, right, wrong, pop, pock, shorts, nice, beyond, send all that away.
Yeah.
Because what's interesting is, if you live in a free will universe, and that's they keep telling us this is, and that's what feels true to me personally. And by the way, check in with all of this what seems light and heavy for you. I know that's, I'm just a reminder. Don't listen to anything I say is true. This is all just story I'm playing in, and if it's light for you, play in it. If it's heavy for you, let it go, because it's not relevant. So, like, how could you be in a free will universe and have beings dominate and control you? How could, like, how is that actually possible? Okay, so how it could be possible is that if you agree to it, you accept to explore in being dominated and being limited and being controlled and being a victim. Like, it's a choice to do that. And in that way, you can be in a free will universe and still be controlled and dominated and limited. But that only works if you don't know that that's occurring. That if you have agreed to it and forgotten that you have actually agreed to that. So how many people remember agreeing to that? Anybody?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
No.
No. I have no memory of agreeing to, yes, please control me, please limit me. I really want to explore being a victim. And what's interesting is I've explored these different philosophies about that have empowered and created space for me, but until I played in this one, it didn't create enough space. It didn't create as much space as this one did. So what if there are agreements that you accept by default when you choose to incarnate here? That you knew that, well, when it's time, you'll untangle it because that's just, you just kind of know how to do that and it's not a big deal. You'll call in the resources to make that happen. But that you would have an experience of that until it was time to not experience it anymore. And when it wasn't time, you would end it. And so what I came up with is it's the same notion as on websites where they say, you know, if you want to use this software, click accept or I agree to use the software. So it's like you can't actually gain access until you agree to the terms and conditions. And you've all seen those pages of legal kind of stuff that, how many of you read that stuff?
Mm-hmm. Well, I never.
Yeah, like you don't. You just kind of go, yeah, okay, fine. Like you have no choice. Like the way it's set up, you can't use the software unless you click agree, and you want to use the software, so you're going to click agree, right?
Right.
So what if the incarnational system was set up the same way? What if the incarnational system was set up with an overlay that said, if you want to incarnate, click I agree, and you're like, okay, fine, this is stupid, but I'll click agree, and then you incarnate, and then, no, this is a little different than what I had planned. This is not what I thought it would be. Okay, fine, I'll adapt. But what if over the millennia, little layers came in and more layers came in and more agreements came in and more agreements came in to the point where things started to really get binding and tying you down. So what if there are these things called incarnational agreements, and I'll refer to them as entry agreements as well. And these are agreements that you accepted prior to incarnating that allowed fine print to be inserted into your life plan, your soul agreement, your blueprint, whatever you want to call it, like what you had come here to play in and do, like what you thought would be your life. All of a sudden, there were like little twists that you don't remember putting those there. Does that ring for anybody else?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Or, you know, on the other side, before you think you're going to enter into a contract, you forgot all about your prior contract, so you decide to come into this particular lifetime to deal with, you know, the big cheese.
Yeah.
You know, whatever that particular incentive is, so that you can finally be done with it.
Right.
But
right.
it has little magnetic tentacles.
Yes. And what's interesting is if we're in a free will universe, free will incarnation means you incarnate in a place until you are done incarnating there. Like you go, you know, I'm done with this planet, and you go somewhere else. Yeah. So how much of the whole concept of reincarnation and the fact that you're forced to keep coming back here is actually just illusion and, dare I say, bullshit?
Yeah.
Does that feel like?
Yep.
So everywhere that you bought into the notion of that you are forced to keep reincarnating here, that you are trapped here, that you have to come here and do this until you get things right, everywhere that you've bought into those viewpoints, can we destroy and create your attachment to the karma and illusion of karma, all that crap?
Oh, yes, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, make null and void. Whoa, there we go. Is a free being of a free will universe. Times a godzillion. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, hoc, shits, nines, beyonds. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create. Make null and void times a godzillion. 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 Across all time, space, dimensions, and realities. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, hoc, shits, nines, beyonds. And let all that go. Now, for those of you who are tracking, I want to demonstrate, and I just did it with you. This is what I just did with you is what I'm going to teach you today. And what I noticed is when I would clear, things might go a little bit away, and then they'd kind of hang there as if they were like caught by a cord. And then slowly things would be kind of wrenched back in, and they'd be put back in again, and it'd be like, damn, I cleared that. And I've learned over time to track that. And so if you're a person who has the gift or the ability of tracking energies, as we're releasing things, and I'm doing the rescind, revoke, recant, track what's happening with the group's energy or with your energy, if you can. And you may, if you're in a lot of stuff, that's just not possible. But if I invite you into tracking and seeing if you can see what happens, because like how I sense it is that I'm doing rescind, revoke, recant, and I hear, and it's like, zoom, stuff goes a distance away, and then it's like, okay, now it's still grabbing, and I'll kind of go to my list of what words will unlock something, and I'll start running those words, and it'll start to loosen and wobble, and then chung, it loosens up another chunk. And I just keep running those words in different ways and in different patterns, and I'll show you these kind of little tricks that I've come up with until you feel it just kind of break free, and there's this like, oh, this kind of just big gasp of air as those agreements release. And it's different when you do it with a group than when you do it with one other person. But I want to explore this with you, and I'll demonstrate it a lot, and I'll explain it as well. And I'll give you the words so that you know. So you don't have to write things down. You can just kind of be with the energy of what's going on here. Wow, that was quite a difference there. So,
down.
Yep.
I'm listening.
What's that?
I said I just put down my pen. I'm listening.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, feel free to use your pen too if you like, but you'll get an exact copy of what you see on the screen here in a PDF document that you can highlight and copy paste. So, hey,
Jaden?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's Alea. When you cleared that agreement, it felt like there's something in our bodies that's programmed into our bodies that is linked to this that we need to clear, and I don't know what it is.
Okay.
It's almost like an access. Like if we clear the agreement, then something shifts in our bodies and our embodiment.
Okay. So if you did know what it was, what would you know?
It's like we need to clear some little something, agreement circuit or something in the bodies to free them too, because they're under the agreement too.
So it's something that hides the agreements that the body can't perceive it, or that you can't perceive it through the body?
No, it's like the body is programmed to enforce the agreement.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's let
what
that.
My body's telling me. It's like, you're going to have problems with me if you sit up there clear and I'm still sitting down here.
Thank you. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So, wow. So all of the shikyu, stupidity, unconsciousness, and anti-consciousness that we have around this topic, because we all have awareness about this stuff, just like Alea is bringing out. We all know pieces of this stuff. So everything that you're using to hide your awareness of those pieces of things, all the shikyu implants, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, unsides, anti-sides, can we destroy and create all that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, pock, trespass, denies, beyond. Send all of that away. So all of the implants, the things that are energetically implanted into you, the being, and all of the explants, all of the implants that are energetically or physically implanted into your body. Allow yourself to perceive all of those and expand bigger than that. So you grab even more, and expand behind you and grab the ones behind you. Yeah, and expand above you, grab the ones above you. Wow. Expand further in front of you, grab the ones in front of you. Yeah. Expand below you and grab the ones that are down below you, and below that, and below that, and below that. And below and in front, and then below and in front, and below and in front, and below and in front. There you go. Keep going. Below and in front, below and in front. Yes, all of that. Those move. That's interesting. And down below that, and then back to the back again. Further back, further back. And now allow yourself to expand out in all directions outside of all of this. All the implants, explants, shikyu, stupidity, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness that's hiding any of this, anything that's been implanted or physically inserted into your body that requires your body to enforce or follow these agreements across any body, across any space-time, dimension, reality, or parallel, can we now destroy and create all of those implants, explants, and anything else? Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, make null and void as a free being of a free will universe. Times a godzillion, good, bad, right, wrong, pop, hoc, schutz, bis, nine, beyonds. Send all that away. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, make null and void, times a godzillion, make null and void, times a godzillion, make null and void, times a godzillion, across all time, space, dimensions, realities. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, times a godzillion, good, bad, right, wrong, pop, hoc, schutz, bis, nine, beyonds. There you go. Send all that away. Oh.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Does anybody else feel like really, really exhausted?
Yeah. Oh. Wow.
Wow.
I am tingling head to toe.
Yeah, me too.
That is so
Yeah.
cool. That is so cool. Wow. Let me take my breath here. Wow. I love when we do big stuff like this. This is so cool. Welcome to my sandbox. This is where we come and play. Oh, I love this. I love that you guys come and play in this. This is so cool. Did that seem like that nailed that, Aaliyah?
Yeah, my body's really like happy right now and going, finally, now we can create together.
Yay. Very cool. Yeah. And as anyone else gets things like that, feel free to bring those up, because like you guys have awarenesses that are key to this whole big puzzle. So like throw them in there. Let's go. Let's make this change. Make this change. I'll be Michael Jackson for a while. Maybe not. So we want to look at the install limits on finances, wealth, and prosperity. So Michael Bartz has talked about that there are these patterns of agreements that are incarnation agreements that are automatically inserted. And these are just ones that I found. He had this list of ones, but these are the ones that felt real and true for me and relevant to the group here. And they're agreements or overlays that install limits on your finances, wealth, and prosperity. So truth, do you have incarnational agreements that install limits on your finances, your wealth, and your prosperity?
Yes.
Yeah, feel the lightness on that.
Yes.
And you may or may not. And so if you do, then let's clear this stuff. So allow yourself to perceive all the incarnational agreements or entry agreements, all the fine print that you have that limit your finances, wealth, and prosperity on any body across all time, space, dimensions, realities, and parallel realities. All of them. All of them. All of them. All of them. All of them.
All of them. All of them.
Yep. There you go. There we go. Yeah, that caused people to expand out. I love it. Thank you for doing that. So all of those agreements, can we now destroy and create them all? Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, times a godzillion, make null and void, times a godzillion, make null and void, times a godzillion, make null and void, as a free will being, as a free being of a free will universe, times a godzillion, make null and void, there we go, make null and void, times a godzillion, rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, times a godzillion, make null and void, make null and void, make null and void, good, bad, right, wrong, pop, hoc, schutz, bis, nice, beyond. Send all that stuff away. Whoa. And one of the things that comes up for people when we start hacking in these things is like, oh, we're not allowed to release these. Like these, this is a bad thing. We're not supposed to go in here and play in this stuff. And believe me, I've poked in this stuff a lot as I was uncovering this. And one of the things that I invite you in is, if we're in a free will universe, isn't this all illusion? Like, what if this is all just illusion? And to the degree that you buy into the illusion, that illusion impacts you. As soon as you release that illusion, well, okay, it doesn't so much affect you anymore. It's like, to the degree that you can release the illusion, all of a sudden it's just not there anymore. To the degree that you step out of the illusion of being controlled, being a victim, being dominated, as you step out of that, you recognize, none of that is really real, but I was interacting as if it was really real. And you let all of it go. So everywhere that you've bought into the illusion and you've generated systems, structures, and used technologies to cause you to lock down and cause you to generate fear and cause you to bind yourself into the underworld, because that's what you thought you were supposed to do here. That's what the agreements told you were supposed to do here. Can we destroy and uncreate all of those viewpoints?
Yeah.
Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and uncreate, times a godzillion, good, bad, right, wrong, pop, pock, shirts, business, nice, beyonds, let it go. And keep in mind, what we're releasing here are just fixed viewpoints. That's it, just fixed viewpoints. As you let go of the fixed viewpoints, you can still choose those viewpoints. You can still go back and be a victim anytime you want. You don't lose the choice. You don't lose the option of being a victim or being dominated. You just don't. As an infinite being, that's one of your choices that are available. But what you lose is that magnet that keeps sticking you to that same space. So you're not, when you destroy and uncreate, you're not losing anything. You're gaining choice is really all that's occurring. Or what if that's all that's occurring, is you're gaining choice. Because that magnet isn't drawing you back to that same stuck point anymore. You can still choose this. So there are times where in the past I used to clear things and then think, well, I'd never choose that again. Well, now I can still go back there, but now when I choose it, I'm choosing it out of awareness, and I go, oh, yeah, I'm doing that again. That's pretty silly. Okay, I'm over it. And I change. So you don't lose the ability to choose. You gain choice. That's my interesting point. Actually, I believe that's an Axis point of view. And it's mine, too. I claim it. So the second one, does anyone else have anything that came up on that whole rampage? No. Okay. So the second one. Yeah. What do you got?
Sorry.
No.
I'm like, I want to get all this done. I am ready to be done with this stuff. What came up for me, and you may want to address it or not, but it's like, okay, is there any level in which by participating in anything, even after we clear all this, we're like, any agreements we have that by participating in victimhood, we're re-engaging in the agreement just by default? Is there anything like that there? Do you know what I'm saying?
If you want there to be.
Kind of like a...
Yeah. So everywhere... Yeah, so everywhere that...
This is Nina.
Yes.
I was getting the same thing.
Okay.
There's something else in there that's keeping it from...
Yeah.
And it was more like it was going up, out. Yeah, it was like another... sticky, right.
Okay. Okay. So now, as we go forward, we're going to hack off a lot of pieces, and things will start to free up more incrementally. But so everywhere that you have, so what you're saying is that when you step into, like, you go out and you see other people playing victim, and then you step into that yourself.
Yeah, if you step back into the underworld for just a moment, just your participation in that frequency re-engages you in the agreement.
It'll rebind you again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Those are yes. Okay. We're going to hit those. Those are reinstall agreements.
Okay, good.
But let's just say everywhere that you have taken on the pattern or the viewpoint that is an automatic pattern that you are bound to or stuck with in any way, shape, or form, that you are in a space of no choice over it, can we destroy and create all of those viewpoints? Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, pock, shit, nice, beyond. Send all that away. Oh. There we go. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Oh. Wow. So, another, wow. Wow, thank you for that. That did, oh, wow. So another item on the list is installing struggle and overlays on relationships. And it's actually bigger. It's installing struggle overlays on all kinds of things. But what came out for me personally was when he said relationships. I'm like, yeah, it's like, I know that relationships don't need to be the struggle that they are, but somehow something keeps, it's like, what was that? And when I started asking, so I'll ask you, so Truth, do you have struggle overlays, so Truth, do you have incarnational agreements that bind you to struggle in relationships?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, feel those.
Something like that.
So allow yourself to connect into all those agreements.
I don't want to feel.
Yep. Allow yourself to connect to all those agreements. What if it's just fine print that got snuck in along the way? And over time, they got more bold. Like if you watch the control systems as they've been occurring on the planet, like they start out subtle, and then they build, and then they build, and they give you more excuses, and then they build, and they build, and they keep adding more. Whoops. And it just keeps adding more and adding more. So everywhere that you have bought into the struggle overlay agreements and forgot or didn't recognize that you had agreed to allow those to be there, can we now destroy and create your attachment or your aligning and agreeing to those agreements? Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, times a godzillion, make null and void. Oh, there we go. Times a godzillion, make null and void, rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create. Wow, good, bad, right, wrong, pop, oxtrates, nice, beyond, let all that go. Wow, that went away quick. Wow.
Yeah, I think it was the null and void.
Yeah, and that's something that Andrew Bartzis puts in, like that's his key thing. Access doesn't have that in there, and I recommend that you add it in. And I'm gonna, I'll pre-show you the slide we're gonna go to. This slide here. It's all of the words, the white words. I'm not sure how fast it comes on your screen, but all of the words that are in white are words that are Access normal words or words that I've come from Access. The words that are in yellow are things that I've kind of been adding. So I will give you this page with all the different words that I'm using on it, just so you don't think that you have to track or remember all that stuff. So allow yourself to perceive, well, let me ask it differently. So Truth, do you have incarnational agreements that generate struggle overlays on your life as a whole?
Absolutely.
So allow yourself to perceive all of those, all of the struggle overlay agreements that you have. Wow. 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 Yeah, all those. So everywhere that you forgot, all this shit, stupidity, unconsciousness, and anti-consciousness that were required to hide all these agreements that you signed and you clicked, I agree, I accept, when you incarnated in all these different lifetimes or in this one lifetime, however that works, everywhere that you forgot about that, can we destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
Yes. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, pock, shirts, nines, beyonds, and all those agreements that you have that bind you to struggle overlays around anything in this life or any life, any body, any parallel, can we now destroy and create your attachment to those agreements? Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and uncreate, times a godzillion, make null and void, 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 across all time, space, dimensions, and realities. Wow, times a godzillion, make null and void, across all time, space, dimensions, realities, across all parallels. It's like this spiral thing. Times a godzillion. Times a godzillion, make null and void as a being of a free will universe. Times a godzillion, rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, make null and void. Times a godzillion, rescind, revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, uncreate. Times a godzillion, make null and void. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, pock, shirts, nights, beyond. Send all that away. Oh. Feel that. Bam. Right there. One moment. Hold that thought. There are times I'll change frequencies and I'll find things will lock in a certain pattern, and I'm just chasing my tail with it. And as soon as I change frequency, speed it up, slow it down, usually slow it down, it just whacks the whole pattern, and it just kind of like gets into chaos, and then I can start taking it apart more. So play with the speed of things, and it does some cool stuff. Yes, what did you have?
Hey, it's Diane. It keeps coming up for me, so I figured I might as well throw it out there. To clear anywhere that I'm not able to find the unsubscribe button. you know how like sometimes you want to unsubscribe to something, but you can't find on the bottom. It's like, where the hell is that unsubscribe thing?
Yep.
Like that's what kept coming up for me.
Cool. So all of the, so keep in mind, all that stuff is there. So let's look at it from this viewpoint. If this is just an illusion, there's an overlay, or there's an illusion, there's a cloaking. The word cloaking came out. That's interesting. So there's cloaking. Cloaking is a word to me that means magic, or that implies to me magic. So all of the cloaking, all of the secret, hidden, invisible, covert, unseen, unsaid, unacknowledged, undisclosed technologies, magics, agreements, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, unsides, anti-sides that you are using to hide from you the way out of all of the agreements that you have ever made across all time, space, dimensions, and realities. Can we destroy and create all of that cloaking and hiding and chick-you stuff?
Yeah.
Yes. Resend, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create times a godzillion, make null and void, return to senders with consciousness, good, bad, right, wrong, pop, box, shorts, poison, all nines, beyonds. Resend, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, make null and void, make null and void, make null and void, make null and void, as an infinite being of a free will universe, times a godzillion, make null and void. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, box, shorts, poison, all nines, beyond, send that away.
Wow. I really felt that. Thank you.
Wow.
Thing that came up for me, Jaden, was the fact that when you said return to sender, part of me was saying, gee, you know, some of these contractual agreements aren't yours.
Yeah. So allow yourself to, allow yourself to perceive all of the contractual agreements that you have mimicked, taken on, replicated, copied, or looked at other people and went, well, that's a really silly thing to do. Why would you do that? And so you took it on so you could figure out why they were doing it. Hello? So allow yourself to perceive all the agreements that you've taken on that aren't actually yours. Wow. Okay. So everything that all those are, can we destroy and create your attachment to those and return those to senders with consciousness? Yes. Times a godzillion, make null and void, resend, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, times a godzillion, good, bad, right, wrong, pop, actress, was nice, beyonds. There's more tangles. Okay, so I'm going to grab that with something else. No, I'm not. Do I grab it here or do I grab it later? I'll grab it later. Okay. There's something else. I just feel this cord that's attached, but I'm going to grab it with something else. So, so Incarnation Agreements, the third one on my bullet list here is, how many Incarnation Agreements do you have to give permission to have antagonists installed in your family grouping? Yeah. Do you notice how many things that answers? I can't tell you how hard I laughed when I heard that. I'm like, son of a bitch, that's exactly what that is. So, how many incarnational agreements do you have that give permission to have antagonists installed into your family circle? Like, they're not actually part of your soul family, but they get stuck in there, they get bound in there. They're just like irritants. They're just, So, everything that all that is, allow yourself to perceive all of that. Yeah, and go bigger, and go bigger, and go bigger, and go bigger, and down below all that, and behind all of that, and below and behind and below and behind and below and below and below and below and below and in front and below and in front and in front of you and in front of you and in front of you and above you and above you and above you and more in front of you and more in front of you and above you and behind you. Further expand, expand, expand. There you go. Now expand out beyond all of this to grab all those agreements where you gave permission to have antagonists installed into your family grouping in any way. Will you now destroy and create your attachment to all of those agreements across all time, space, dimensions, realities, and the agreements that apply to all bodies, all parallels, everywhere, everything?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and uncreate, make null and void. There we go. Times a godzillion, make null and void. Times a godzillion, make null and void. Times a godzillion, make null and void. Across all time, space, dimensions, and realities. Wow. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, akshits, bizanias, beyonds. Make null and void. Oh, as a free will being of a free will universe, times a godzillion, make null and void. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, akshits, bizanias, beyonds. Just send all that away. Wow. And everywhere that you have bound yourself to these antagonists, thinking there's something wrong with you, or there's something you need to figure out, or there's something screwed up in your whatever, everywhere you have made you wrong, anywhere you have ever made you wrong over antagonists or agreements that were stuck in to bind you, and you made you wrong because, gosh, you're doing something wrong, you're paying for it this lifetime, whatever story you told that is just a load of crap. Can we destroy and create your attachment to all of those stories and viewpoints?
Yes.
Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create times a godzillion. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, akshits, bizanias, beyonds. Let all that go. Oh. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Ah. Wow, okay. So the fourth one here are clauses to change your parents or your scenario growing up. Like you planned or you thought you were going to have certain parents or a certain situation, and you come in and and all of a sudden, oh my God, this is different. This is not the life I had planned. Oh my God. So truth, how many people have incarnational agreements that allow your parents or your life, the scenario of your growing up to be changed?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, some deep stuff there. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And allow yourself to perceive all of the lifetimes or parallels or realities where that took effect, or that is in effect, or has been retroactive. These people know how to play with time. And so there are agreements that bind you backwards and forwards through time. They're so cute. We're so cute. And, yeah. I'll do more on that later, but my mind thought of a really cute thing. So all the incarnational agreements that you have that allow or permit this, and everywhere you forgot or made chick you that you allowed this, that you allowed these agreements, can we just now destroy and create all that and release all these agreements?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create times a godzillion. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, akshits, bizanias, beyonds. Let all that go. Oh, we're clearing lineages here. Wow.
I'm a Steve.
Wow. 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 Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim. I did take a breath. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create times a godzillion, make null and void, times a godzillion, make null and void, times a godzillion, make null and void. Across all time, space, dimensions, realities, parallel realities, all parallel realities, forward, backwards, all parallel realities, in all directions, times a godzillion, rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create good, bad, right, wrong, pop, akshits, bizanias, beyond. Oh. I think this is going to do something. just a guess on my part. I don't have any expectations, but I think this is going to do something. So truth, So we're looking for a number here, and let's just see what jumps up first. Truth, how many incarnational agreements do you have?
1 million.
Allow yourself to perceive the first number that comes to mind.
5.
Okay? And whatever number that is,
20,000.
allow yourself to kind of spider through all of those numbers and grab all of those agreements across all time, space, dimensions, realities, no matter what body you were running, no matter what parallel you're in, no matter what the rules of that dimension are. Because if you can insert them in one dimension, because you exist across many dimensions, they can apply across other dimensions. Yeah, I didn't see that before. So, oh, wow. Okay. Wow. So, thank you for showing me that, whoever showed me that. So, allow yourself to perceive all the incarnational agreements you have across all time, space, dimensions, realities, and parallels. And all they are agreements that you chose to click I agree or I accept. And you can just choose cancel. So, everywhere that you have bound yourself to these agreements, can we now destroy and create your attachment to these agreements? Yes. And will you now destroy and create your attachment to the illusions and your need to use illusions, shikyu, cloaking, technologies to hide from you the truth of you? Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create times a godzillion. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, akshas, nines, beyonds. Make null and void times a godzillion. Make null and void, make null and void, make null and void as a free will being of a free will universe. As a free being of a free will universe. That's the phrase. As a free being of a free will universe. Make null and void times a godzillion. Rescind, revoke, recant. There we go. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create. Good, bad, right, wrong. Pop, hack, schutz, nice, beyond. Send it away. When I'm tracking it, like when I get it, there's just this like huge sense, like this big blanket's been taken off, and this just space opens up. It's like whoa. I don't stop doing the rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim until I either get a hint saying there's more to. Let's grab that later down, or until I get that blanket coming off. So like just keep playing in it. Just follow your play and let that just whatever words come out. And sometimes weird stuff comes out. Just let yourself play with those weird words. So the null and void are weird words. But when you look at what null and void is, null and void having no force, no binding power, and no validity. I had originally explored with something that the Galactic Historian explores with, and also the people of Hawaii and some of the other sovereign nations. The whole notion of being a sovereign being, and what I found from playing with that is it's tangled in a lot of duality. Sovereignhood is tangled in a lot of stuff. So I've replaced sovereign with being a free being. They used to use a sovereign being of a free will universe. I've replaced it with a free being of a free will universe. My brain goes, oh, but you got the word free used twice. And I'm like, thank you, brain. Go back, go play with something. Because it does stuff. Like using that word does stuff. Yes, thank you, brain. Bye-bye. Go run on. Go fetch something for me. Good brain. I'm not picking on my brain. I really do. I love my brain. But I've let go of the whole notion of yeah, I tangled my brain there. Good bad for practice is nice. Yeah, I let go of the whole notion of using sovereign being because it's just too much duality there. Null and void and free being of a free will universe. I don't use them all the time. I just kind of stick them in wherever they just kind of pop in. So truth, how many illusory non-free will universes are you operating from or through or in? Wow.
Billions?
Yeah. Through or in. There's a lot of them. Wow. So What if another really cool way of getting you to bind is to invite you into a non-free will universe that looks just like the free will universe, except for it's not free will? Let that sink in. You're not letting that sink in. How many non-free will universes have you been lured in or have agreed to join, not recognizing that they were non-free will universes? Now it's sinking in. Now it's sinking in. There are universes out there that are exploring 50% free will and 50% non-free will, or are zero free will, or some other variation of it. What if this is a very unusual universe in that it is 100% free will? Yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Let that sink in. Wow. 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 So allow yourself to perceive all of the non-free will universes that you are currently operating from, through, as, or in. Add the word as. So everywhere that you are attached to those, or everywhere that you've agreed, my space bar. Everywhere that you've aligned and agreed, resisted and reacted, or defending for or against, being in that or participating in that non-free will universe when you weren't aware that it was a non-free will universe. Ta-da! Can we destroy and uncreate all that and all the Shikyu and cloaking and technologies involved in masking that?
Yes.
Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate. Times of God's own. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, hoc, trespass, and nice, beyond. Send all that away and away and away and away. Wow. 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 If I nail the truth clearly enough, if I guide you to the truth of it and you see it, you automatically let it go. Like I noticed, and I'm going to do a little bit more with it, but there wasn't a lot of rescind revoke in there because like I so explained it that you so got it that you were like, I am so over that. Like you just let it go immediately. So that's the cool thing about nailing the viewpoint. So again, allow yourself to perceive how many illusory, or let's just say, how many non-free will universes are you currently operating from, through, as, or in? Whew. Wow. Wow. So everywhere that you are in Shikyu, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, cloaking, or any technological devices that are causing you to not be able to perceive the truth of where you're existing in, that it is not a free will universe. Because if you knew that it wasn't a free will universe, would you struggle with it? No, you just go, oh, this is the part of me that's in the non-free will universe. Not a big deal. That's the way it's supposed to be here. You wouldn't struggle with it. But when you believe that this is supposed to, I was told this is a free will universe, and it's not acting that way, so there must be something wrong with me. No. What if there's nothing wrong with you? What if you're just in the illusion that you're in a free will universe when you're not? Everywhere you're in those illusions, whether they were created by you, for you, or by any incarnational agreements of any kind, can we destroy and create all those?
Yeah.
Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create times a godzillion, make null and void, good, bad, right, wrong, pot, pock, shorts, boys, all nines, beyonds, and just kind of send all that away. Oh. Wow. Wow. I was guided to the chat box, and Casey asks, Jaden, can you discuss relationships more in depth in terms of one person's agreements binding the other person consequentially? Yeah, I wish I understood what that meant. My brain is so spinning. Can you discuss the relationship, the depth in terms of one person's agreement binding the other person consequentially? Let me digest that, and I'll come back to that. Okay, so in terms of free will universe, did that bring up anything for anybody? No. Okay. Casey brought up clarification here. If one person's agreements affects another person's without realizing or intending it so. I would say yes. So if you have agreements where you, yeah, let me grab that. So if you're in these agreements that are something like, this is my twin flame, this is my soul partner, this is my whatever. If you've bound yourself to another person, if you have bound yourself, often what those particular binding agreements do, and those are other interesting agreements, those will bind you to the other person's agreements, which is a tricky thing because it can cause you to take on other people's stuff as your own, but you can't clear it. It hangs out in your field as if it's yours, and you act as if it's yours, but it's not, and you can't clear it, and you can't fix it, and you can't change it, but it's because you've bound yourself to another person. That will happen with lineage chains, and we'll talk more about those in a little bit. But if you bind yourself to a lineage, you know, I am Irish, I am Hawaiian, I am this race. When you bind yourself, or I am this family, I am part of the Fox family, I have the Fox family crest to prove it. You know, it's like you're binding yourself to all of their binds, and 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 their binds. Your multiple bindings. So through relationship, you can bind to their binds. So all of the binds that you have bond to through relationship, allow yourself to perceive all of those. Wow. Wow. Everything that is, can we now destroy and create all those?
Yes.
Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create good, bad, right, wrong, pot, pock, shirts, boys, all nines, beyonds. And let all of those goes. I think we're all kind of vortexing here. Oh, man. Let me get a drink here because this is...
That sounds funny.
I need a drink. Yeah. It's just juice, believe me. The next topic that I have are something called reinstatement clauses. This is what you were looking for, kids. Right here. This is what you knew was there all along. You were looking for this. You knew this was here. There are something called reinstatement clauses. Also, I call them auto-install clauses. And they're agreements that you accepted pre-incarnation that allow you to things that you accidentally let go of to have them reinstated for you. Isn't that nice? In case you accidentally drop something along the way, they'll put it back for you. What a service. That's just such a service. I'm so impressed. I want to click accept to that. That's a great service. Allow yourself to perceive all the reinstatement clauses that you have agreements around that auto reinstall things back into your system. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All of those. All of those. All of those. Expand out further. And if you're in this space of going, oh my God, I can't believe there are that many, there are more. Keep going. Keep going. There are more. Keep going. There are more. They're bigger. Keep going bigger. Expand bigger than that. Expand bigger than that. Expand bigger than that. Keep going. You're there. Bigger than that. Bigger than that. Bigger than that. And do a quantum magnitude larger than that. Wow. Yep. And a quantum magnitude larger than that. There we go. And a quantum magnitude larger than that. Yes. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So all of the... Wow. Wow, okay. So, hang on, let me breathe. Wow. So all of the reinstatement auto reinstall clauses that you have that automatically reinstall stuff after you accidentally let it go or purposefully let it go or clear it. All of these agreements, can we now that you're aware that they're all there, can you destroy and create your attachment to those agreements?
Yes.
Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, make null and void, good, bad, right, wrong, pop, extras, nines, beyonds. And look at it this way. It's just an illusion that you forgot you were in. That's it. It's just an illusion that you forgot you were in. And the letting go of the agreements is just letting go of you're saying, yeah, I think I'm going to stick around in this illusion for a while. What if that's just the agreement? The agreement is just an agreement to go, yeah, I'll buy into that illusion because that's what everybody else is doing here. Well, that's why is everybody else doing it here? Because they're made to do it when they incarnate here. It's like, okay, so that's why everybody's doing that. Oh, okay. So everywhere that you were doing it because you thought you needed to do it because that's what everybody else is doing here, when you actually had choice, you didn't actually have to even accept these agreements. You could have bypassed them. So how many of you know that you have an ability to bypass all these agreements?
Yeah.
Yeah, feel that. And not everybody does, but some of you have gifts and abilities that can bypass these agreements. Allow yourself to proceed. So truth, do you have the ability to bypass these agreements?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some of you have yes, some of you have no, and that's fine. So all the shikyu, stupidity, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness around all of this, can we destroy and create all that?
Yeah.
Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create. Times a godzillion. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, extras, nice, beyond. Send all that away. Oh, oh that's good. Oh. So, all the, wow, I'm just going to let that clear for a second. Wow. Everywhere that you abused you because you thought that you weren't powerful enough, like you forgot that you had the ability to clear it, but you kind of remembered you had the ability to clear it, but you gave up that right to clear it. Everywhere that you put yourself down, everywhere that you made yourself less than, and you use this as proof, as solid evidence that you are not capable, that you do not have magic, that you do not have gifts and abilities, that your magic does not work here because it's just not working, when you agreed to not make it work, to not let it work, when you just told yourself stories that caused yourself to lock you down. Can we destroy and create all of those stories and fix viewpoints? Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create. Times a godzillion. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, extras, nights, beyond. Send all that stuff away. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, make null and void as a free being of a free will universe. As a free being of a free will universe, as a free being of a free will universe, as a free being of a free will universe. There we go. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create, make null and void. It's just a choice, kids. It's just a choice. Make null and void. Times godzillion. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, extras, nice, beyond. Send that away. Oh, there we go. Wow. And also, you can have future technologies. Like on my computer, my Mac automatically will detect problems. And it'll alert Apple, and Apple will make the changes, and they will then say, there's new software to be installed. Do you want to install it? And I click yes. And it auto-updates itself, and it fixes those problems. Well, this is entry-level technology, kids. Think about in the future, they have technologies that auto-evolve. We're getting a lot of noise here. If you're hearing like echoes on your computer and you're not really participating, and you have the ability to mute, if you could do that, that would be really awesome. And then when you want to talk, just kind of unmute yourself. So it's like, what if in future technologies will auto-fix themselves? So if you are utilizing technologies in other lifetimes, and you're now expanding to the infinite being where you're becoming aware of the technologies that are being used by bodies in other spaces, times, you can perceive auto-install or auto-repair or auto-update technologies, and it can potentially put back stuff that was defunct. In which case, you'll want to destroy and uncreate your attachment to that technology as well. So, I mean, you can already see the merging of bio and technology on this planet and where it's going, nanotechnology and stuff being inserted in the body. Where that goes in the future is mind-blowing. Like, you can't tell the difference between technology and biology anymore in the future. And you can, but it's not obvious. It's so integrated and it's so automated. So everywhere that you have not been allowing yourself to perceive that you are picking up information from other bodies, other lifetimes, other parallels, where you have technology installed in your being, and you're trying to take that information and make it fit and work in this physical body you have here. And it does not work. It just limits your physical body here. Can you destroy and create all the shikyu, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness that hides your awareness of all of those technologies?
Yes.
Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create times a godzillion. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, extras, was nice, beyond. Send that all away. Ooh. Wow. There we go. And so everywhere, all the shikyu that you have around auto-update and auto-repair technologies that keep causing limitations to be reinserted into your physical body because they're happening in another lifetime or in another parallel or in another dimension, and you're resonating with it, and you're bringing that information through to this body and making this body own it and somehow find a way to use it, and it just locks this body down. Can you stop doing that to your physical body now?
Yes.
Yes. Everywhere you are overlaying technologies from other lifetimes onto this physical body, can you destroy and create your attachment to that, doing that?
Yes.
Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create times a godzillion. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, extras, beyonds, beyonds. Whoa. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and uncreate, make null and void, make null and void, make null and void, make null and void, times a godzillion. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce. Wow, as a free being of a free will universe, times a godzillion, good, bad, right, wrong, pop, extras, beyond, send that away. There you go. You got it. That was for the bodies. Thank you, body. We so appreciate you. Like everywhere that you have not been appreciating your body because you think your body's been screwing up when actually you've been overlaying crap onto your body that your body has no way of digesting, has no way of interacting with, and it's really you overlaying that information onto your body. Will you apologize to your body now, please?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sorry, body. I won't do that anymore. Yeah. And everywhere that you've done that to your body, can we now destroy and create your attachment to that?
Yes.
Yes. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, extras, beyonds, and send that away. And I know we're fried, but I'm going to... So do you want me to... Yeah, I'm just going to keep marching on.
Yeah.
I know you're fried. We're just going to keep going. You can look at the notes later. You can look at the replay later. So there is something that I'm calling rebound agreements. So like in my little picture here, you've got the blue... that blue core, it's an agreement, and then there's a binding over top of that, and another binding over top of that, and another binding over top of that. And like you can perceive the inner agreement, and you try to destroy and uncreate it, and there are bindings over top of that. And some of the playing with that I'm doing undoes that stuff. So I call them double binds, triple binds, quadruple binds. There are 5 binds and there are 6 binds that I find. I don't find too many more than that. Like nobody seems to track things out that many magnitudes to look for that many bindings. But what I found is the times a godzillion undoes bindings. So there are times when I'm doing rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create, times a godzillion, times a godzillion, times a godzillion. I'm undoing binds, is how I perceive it. Somehow that untangles binds. So recognize sometimes you may get into a space where you'll go, wow, this feels really bound, like layers of bindings. And you'll get the sense of, yeah, this is like double bind. You heard the phrase like catch-22 or double bind? That's that energy. Triple bind, quadruple bind. All those are those. It's so wrapped into each other, intertangled, that it seems impossible to let go of. It's not. Just stick in there times a godzillion and throw in some extra words and it all gets better. It all goes away. There's another thing that makes me squirrely, and I have a sense that I have something to do with this. So let me say, everywhere that you have been one of the creators of any of these systems or technologies, of the incarnational overlay, of the incarnational agreements, of the reinstall agreements, of the binds, triple binds, or of signatory systems, anywhere that you are a creator or co-creator or have any ability or say to make change and pull the paradigm out completely from this planet, all the shikyu, stupidity, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness you have that hides from you the abilities you have and the potency you have as the creator or co-creator of these paradigms or contributor to these paradigms, can we destroy and uncreate all that?
Yeah.
Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, oxfords, was the nines, beyonds. And truth, how many of you are creators or co-creators of any of the paradigms we've discussed today?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's probably why you're on the call. Maybe not, but it's like, why is this so interesting to me? Well, maybe I've got a little involvement somewhere in another lifetime somewhere where I was playing in the dark side. I mean, it's fun there too, you know. Hey, why not? So it's all cool. It's all so cool. So, man, that brought up some interesting stuff for people. I love it. So everything that brought up. So all the Mobius strips, quantum particulates, shikyu implants, trifold sequencing systems under that, all the fear that brought up for people, all of the, just everything you brought up. Can we destroy and create all that?
Yes.
Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, good, bad, right, wrong, pop, oxfords, was nice, beyond. Because if you think that you haven't been there, done that, I'm sorry. You're not an infinite being then, and you shouldn't be on this call. But you probably are an infinite being, and you probably have done all of these things. We're so cute. So that's just my interesting point of view. So signatory systems. I'm getting off today. This is really cool. I'm having a good time. Signatory systems are, now this is, I'm still entangling this, so this is kind of work in progress here. If it feels heavy to you, ignore it. If it feels light to you, run with it. Signatory systems are systems that, you know how they keep on this planet, they keep, and I look for the way things are showing up in my reality here as indicators of what's behind the scenes in this reality. So I look at what they keep wanting to do in this reality. They keep wanting me to sign things. You need to sign this. You need to sign your taxes. You need to sign your checks. You need to sign for this mortgage. You need to sign for this. You need to bind to this. You need to bind to that. There's now electronic, when you click accept, it's part of a signatory system now. When you click accept, it's considered you applying your signature to that system. You have agreed to that. A signatory system is a system of agreement that says that once I've signed it, I am legally and officially bound and bonded to it. And they've now adapted that system into the tech world. And when you click accept, it is now considered part of your signature. Like it becomes an official document that legally is binding. Did you know that? It's so cute.
Yes.
That's called a signatory system. And what if we were able to write signatory systems that actually were created on the other side, that were created in your incarnational system, that every time that on this planet, in this real now, you bound yourself to an agreement. You rebind yourself back to all the stuff in your incarnational agreements. So it's real-time binding. Like you bind right now. Like every time you sign your taxes, you are rebinding not just to that document, but to the taxation system, to the system that allows the taxation system to be in place, to the system that allows the dominance and control system to be in place, to the system that allows the overlay that allows the dominance and control and taxation. And like it's the system that's called a signatory. Can you feel the scope and magnitude of that?
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? I'm so impressed. I must have created something here. So allow yourself to perceive how many signatories you have engaged that are binding you. Does that kind of look infinite?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Mine is such a big number, it just looks infinite. Okay, so again, what if these are all illusions and these are all... Casey says, damn it. What if all these signatories are just choices? They're just agreements that you chose to click accept and then chose to forget that you made them. What if it's that simple? They're just illusions. They're just illusions. So everywhere that you've made this way more complicated than a choice to not buy into the illusion. All the layers of complication that you have added to this whole planet and this whole construct and this whole life, when it's really as simple as you can choose something different. All the shikyu, stupidity, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness around all of this, can we destroy and create it all?
Yes.
Yes, rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create times a godzillion. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, pock, shits, beyonds, beyonds, and all of your attachment to signatories and signatory systems. All signatories that you have ever attached yourself to or signed on to, clicked accept to, across all time, space, dimensions, and realities, will you now destroy and create your attachment to those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create times a godzillion, make null and void, times a godzillion, make null and void as a free being of a free will universe. Times a godzillion, make null and void. Good, bad, right, wrong, pod, poc, shorts, boys, all nines, beyond, send all that away. Wow. Oh, I'm shaking. I love it.
And now does that also take care of the future times we sign our taxes?
Yeah, well, actually, I've gotten into the habit of now anything I sign, I make null and void.
Okay.
I sign it and I make it null and void. It's like, well, this is cute. They just need my signature there. They don't necessarily have to understand that I've made it null and void. And if enough of us make it null and void, the whole structure just starts to collapse. What if the entire illusion of structure and for those of you who are in the United States, and I'm sure the other countries have this, no, I'll just say generically, of the taxation system, of the government system, of the all of those structures that appear to be so big and so powerful and so in charge. It's just such a big fucking house of cards. It's this huge illusion that's being played out, that when enough people see through the illusion, all of the mice just go running, scurrying away, going, okay, they caught us, bye-bye. And everything just collapses, and all of a sudden, the illusion is down. Like, it's just gone. It's not a revolt. It's not the people standing up and taking over the government. It just, people recognize, oh, it's all bullshit. And it just falls away. The facade just falls away. And the little mice that were behind the scenes run off scurrying. So what if it's that simple? You notice how light that feels? It feels silly, but notice how light that feels. So everywhere that you can or have the ability to contribute to the facade of control, the illusion of control, just falling away. No drama, no bullshit, just falls away, the mice run away, and everything just kind of restructures itself naturally into something that is more harmonious and organic and affirming, life affirming on this planet. That's a judgment. That's more harmonious. I'll just say more harmonious. Everything that you can do, everything that's in the way of you making a change in this area, can we destroy and create it all?
Yeah.
Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, pock, shirts, business, beyond. Send that away. Oh, wow. And now we're going to send out energy into the future. Do I want to use this? There's two different ways. Access, Gary brought out this 1, 2, 3, 4, and most people have misunderstood it and are doing it a different way. But that way does cool things too. So I'm trying to see which one we want to do. We want to do Gary's way, we want to do it the other way. Okay, so let's just send out energy into the future. So allow yourself to expand to the universe. Allow your energy to expand to the size of the universe in all directions. There you go. If you weren't wobbly before, you will be now. Allow yourself to expand out to the size of the multiverse in all directions. Whoa, there you go. There you go. There you go. You got it. Okay, and allow yourself to perceive everything that this planet desires or requires, everything that you could energetically bring here that would allow all of these structures and systems to change. Just allow yourself to bring them all right here, right now. Just coalesce all of those energies. Bring to you all of those energies from all time, space, dimensions, realities that this planet desires or requires to make that change. Make that change, yeah. And now gift it to the planet on 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow. And again, 1, 2, 3. And again, everything you know that you have access to that will make a change on this planet, that will totally change all of these structures and systems. Bring all that stuff through now. 1, 2, 3.
3.
All the keys and codes that you have access to that you can share with the system and share with other beings on this planet that will unlock everything. Grab all those keys and codes and provide them to the appropriate beings. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow. 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 Well, that'll do something. Wow. So on the current slide, this is a listing of all the basic words that I find myself using. Again, I don't actually use that list in front of me. I just am in a space of awareness, and because I've been exposed to these words, they just kind of pop into my awareness and I spit them out. So my invitation to you is some of these things came out of just me trusting myself. Like, of a free will universe kind of came out, and I'm like, well, that's not something Gary taught me. It's like, I can't use that. It's like, well, why not? So I've had all kinds of really weird-ass words come out while I'm doing these clearing statements that unlock people in a way that nothing else does. So can you allow yourself to trust you, and when these weird words or concepts come out, just run with it. Like, who cares? It does stuff. Like, just run with it. And everywhere that brings up stuff for people, can we just destroy and uncreate all that?
Yeah.
Yes. Rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create. Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, pock, shirts, business, beyonds. Because I was challenged by somebody. It's like, what if you have more awareness than Gary Douglas does?
Yeah.
Like, what if there are areas that you have more awareness than Gary Douglas does? Or than Dane here does? Or than Jaden Fox does? Or that God herself does. Like, what if you are more aware in certain areas than any other being in all of existence? And what happens if you choose to go, oh, well, you know, Gary's never said that one before, so I can't use that. Whoa. Gary and everybody else across all time, space, dimensions, and realities doesn't get to expand in that area because you aren't willing to bring that through. Feel that. Everywhere that you have shut yourself down, and I'm including myself in this, everywhere that you have shut yourself down or locked yourself down because you thought, well, you know, this is stupid, nobody else has ever talked about this, or this isn't on the approved list of things to say, or blah, blah, blah. Can we just destroy and create all that chick-you stupidity, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, and bullshit?
Yeah.
Yes? 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 Yes, yes. Rescind, revoke, or can't reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create times a godzillion, make, null, and void across all time, space, dimension. Yeah, I can't use my lips anymore. That's cool. Rescind, revoke, or can't reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create good, bad, right, pop, actions, beyond. My lips actually stopped working there for a second. So cool. I love it. There's just so much energy moving in my body right now. This is absolutely incredible.
Well, obviously, it's happening to you.
Yeah. So this is another topic that I'm not gonna bring up today. This is a whole big can of worms. I'm gonna bring that up as a whole other topic. Let me just say that there are times that clearing agreements is one thing. The rescind, revoke, or can't reclaim, podpocking thing is one way of clearing agreements. There's another way of clearing agreements, and I call it contribution. It's like some agreements require like certain energies, like you have to have the key, you have to have the solution, or you have to have like the thing required in order to allow that to unlock. Well, if I'm an infinite being, I can just go out and get that. Hello? So allow yourself to perceive all of the agreements that you have currently in your system that you don't have what is required to release them. They're tangled because you are missing something. Allow yourself to perceive all of those agreements. Oh. Okay. Wow. 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 There you go. Yeah. So, allow yourself to now expand out again to the universe and the multiverse. And allow yourself to perceive and coalesce in front of you everything that these contracts desire or require for their precise and complete resolution. Just allow yourself to grab everything that these contracts require. It's just energy, kids. Just go out, you're an infinite being, grab the energies that are required. They're all out there. They're all out there. You just chose to separate yourself from those energies, collect those energies up, and sometimes you gift them to you. So let's do that one first, because that came into my awareness first. So bring all of those energies and just bring them into your body and your being, and just gift them to you now. 1, 2, 3, and just bring all that energy into your body. You're just bringing all the keys, all the solutions, all the pieces of you that you have left scattered about through all different places in reality, dimensions that want to come home. Okay? Again, reach out. All the things that these contracts desire require for their resolution. Gather all that stuff up. We're going to give it to our bodies again. Gather it all up. There you go. Yeah, gather it all up. And gift it to your body and your being. So your body and your being have the ability to just step out of all these agreements. Just gift it to your body and your being. Just keep gifting it. Bring it in. Bring it all home. Bring it in. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. There you go. So that's one thing. And sometimes that is all it takes to release an agreement. And the other thing is sometimes imagine in front of you all the agreements that you have that require energies, that require, wow, I'm just feeling all these agreements moving. I'm being overwhelmed. Wow, call up all the agreements in front of you, like on a screen in front of you, that require energies in order for them to unlock or complete. Just call them up on the screen. There you go. Yep, you got it. You got it. And you don't have to, it's not a mental thing. You don't have to, whatever, just pretend they're up there if you don't get it. Just pretend. It all works, really does. And so now expand out to the universe and the multiverse. And now collect up everything that these agreements desire or require. Just collect all that stuff up. Don't do anything with it yet. Just collect everything that these agreements desire or require. Just coalesce it in front of you. Okay? And now think about it in this way. You've made an agreement, and we usually like have this energy about these agreements that like, oh, I hate them. I want to bash them out of existence. Well, some of these agreements you cannot bash out of existence. Matter of fact, if you bash on them, they kind of bonk you back on the head. So in this case, we want to gift these energies to these agreements. It's like, oh, here's a gift of something really precious and special and magical, and thank you so much for your help, Mr. Agreement. Like, don't wrestle with agreements. You made the agreement. Don't wrestle with it. Just kind of gift the energy back to it. So grab all those energies and gift them to those agreements. Just like, thank you so much, agreements. I gift those energies to you. Thank you so much for your help. There you go. There you go. And expand out again. All the energies these agreements require, and I usually do this 3 times. Doesn't always require 3 times. And gift it. Whoa. There you go. And again, everything these agreements require, and gift it. Yeah. There you go. Wow. And those agreements just kind of fall away. They just fall away. There's no wrestling, there's no struggling. They just kind of fall away. Whew. Okay. So I'm in my wrapping up mode here. I've gone a little bit over time, but there is no time. We don't need no stinking time. So what I'd like to know is, are there things that are up in your universe or are up in your body that feel incomplete or feel disturbing or feel out of balance? Or is there something going on for you that if we didn't take care of now, you might be eating for a while?
Definitely.
Yeah, you're probably wobbling with so much light energy that it's kind of hard to... Limitation?
You know, there's a definite absence of weight, you know? So I think three-dimensionally you have to kind of learn how to stand the ground, that's all.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a category that you overlooked in your infinite, amazing, being, magical person you are.
Thank you.
I can't speak. I haven't been speaking for 2 hours. So.
I know. I know. Yeah. So I want to ask for your assistance. One thing is, can you help me to pass on to let other people know about this? I had gotten beforehand that I'm going to run a replay. I'm like, why do we need to run a replay of this? And the universe is like, no, really, you don't get it. Like, let's run a replay of this. I'm like, really? Do we need to run a replay? And it's basically just going to be a replaying of this call, but it shows my picture. It's like real time. It's all this real time stuff. So it looks like it's live, but it's actually not. It's a replay. And I'm going to do it next Saturday at a different time frame so that other people can get more involved. And I'm not actually going to release the audio recording or video recording until then. This just came out this morning. It was like, no, we got to do this. I'm like, why? And now I understand it. There's just so much stuff here. But can you help me to pass this along to other people? This is such cool stuff. if you have other Access friends, and this is only for people who have Access background. Other people would be really, really overwhelmed by this. My interesting point of view. I could be wrong, and I'd love them to get attached to the sign-up list. So if you could invite them to participate in this program, and I will resend out the emails again that say, like, it'll be for next Saturday, but it'll just be a rerunning of this same recording, but you'll see me and it'll look just like it does right now. It's really cool. Because I'd really love more people to get exposed to this. So if you could pass this on, forward the email that allows people to sign up, tell other people about it, send them to my page where they can sign up. This is just such cool stuff, and it really is freeing a huge space in this planet. And man, we created this stuff. We can destroy and uncreate it. Let's go. Let's just get rid of all this stuff. So if you could do that for me, I'd really appreciate it. I will send you today the PDFs of all the slides. So you'll get exactly what you saw on the screen. You'll get that. I'll send that out to you today. I have some other sessions. I have the thing that says next session. I'm not sure when it's going to be. Maybe May, maybe sooner. I don't know. On clearing technologies and implants, and the topic that I skipped over, which is clearing curses and bound agreements, which I actually showed you how to do in a quick way, but I can explain it more in depth for other people. So I have other topics, and there's constantly new stuff coming out that I want to share with people. I want to get it out there to facilitators and practitioners. You guys know these tools, and I know you guys use these tools on yourself and other people. The more people get access to this stuff, the more change we can make on this planet. That's where we're going. Let's do this. So the more people that you can connect to the Mastery series, the more we can run with this. I want people who are playing at this level, not people who are just beginning out. So if you know people who'd be interested in this, please pass this along. That's all I have. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I just so love this stuff. I eat this up. So thank you for being here. Any last questions?
Thank you, Jaden.
Oh, you're welcome.
What to do next?
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaden. Thank you.
You're welcome. Aloha.
You're welcome.
Yes, aloha.
Bye.
Phone number. Thank you.